welcome back to REI Baddies, where we highlight the real stories of investors inside our community who are taking massive action and building their empires one deal at a time.
Your hosts, Rachel Davis and Kate Baldwin, and today we are pumped to bring you another awesome guest. On today's episode, we're welcoming Adam Catledge. Adam is a retired United States Marine who has brought that same discipline and focus into his real estate journey. He's been carving out his path in co-living, one of my favorite spaces in the industry, and we can't wait to dive into his story.
Thank you so much, Adam, for joining us, and we are so excited to have you. You are our second guest.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much to both of you. I'm so glad Rachel reached out to me. I love doing podcasts.
I love it so much. So,
Adam, do you want to start off and just tell us what brought you into real estate? Did you get in while you were in the Marine Corps or outside of it?
Yeah, so I started in real estate recently, and compared to a lot of some people, right? So I was retired from the Marine Corps 2 years ago after doing 20 years in the Marine Corps, and really found this space and got started in 2022 when I found Pace Morby.
Nice.
I was doing rookie boot camp with Bigger Pockets, and I think I was on week 6 of that boot camp, and I really, it was a great challenge to do. But then they got into the finance week, and like all of us, veterans, sometimes we don't have the most money in our bank account when we're sitting there in the military on active duty. And so, in my mindset, I had always thought, hey, I had to have 20% down to go buy property. I had to use my own money to buy property. I didn't know I could go out and use other people's money. I had to go out and get loans and all the typical traditional thought that goes into what most people think about in the real estate space. And so they mentioned during Finance Week that about this guy named Pace Morby, and that he was talking about creative finance. And so, the curiosity got the best of me, and I went down the YouTube University rabbit hole and said, okay, well, this might be a scam. It might not be a scam, but, I'm going to go and head first in, because it was either, I was getting out in a year. What am I going to do with my life afterwards? I can go get a job. I was planning on going into sales because I have the gift of the gab and can talk to a wall until it's tired of me. And, so I said, what, let me take a leap of faith. And I got in there and, I said, hey, this is creative finance. Can I get it on a payment plan or something? The entry fee into this thing, because, in the back of my head, I was getting scammed. I knew I was getting scammed, and I swore that my husband was going to get mad at me if I lost my money and all kinds of stuff. And but it worked out. And so I jumped into real estate. Had only at that point bought one property. We bought a home in South Carolina that we used our VA loan on. And we had recently had turned it into an Airbnb, and it was doing great. And so I said, well, let me take a leap of faith, and jumped in it. And the story wrote itself. And I'll tell you today that if I joined on June 24th, 2022, if Adam from June 24th walked in front of me today, I would not recognize that person, because I thought I had the gift of the gab, but this community has really brought it out of me and made it I get chill bumps thinking about it. So, but yeah, that's a little bit about me, and from the South, as you can tell.
What? Your voice sounds like cornbread, my friend.
It's love it. So I have a quick question. Like, you're in the military, you have a year, you're sitting there, you're trying to think about what exactly you're going to do. What made you think about real estate, though? Did you have that? Like, is it just something you saw online? I mean, how did you get to that point?
I'd wanted to get into real estate. I wanted to get in the real estate. I had always wanted to get in the real estate and be an investor and stuff, because I'm one of those people that did not want to work for anyone ever again. But
right.
I didn't know how to. And so I was very concerned. I was going to go out and get a job when I got out of the military,
right,
like most people do. And I said, you know what? Let me take this on, see if I can leverage this space in this type of investment strategy, creative finance, to see if it works for me.
Yeah.
And I still to this day have not had, it's been 2 years since I got out and I hadn't worked for anybody.
I
So
love
that
it.
I did not want to go out and build someone else's dream. I wanted to build my dream and my family's dream, so that's what really helped me get and stay motivated.
That's a very, because that's very interesting actually. What do you remember about your first deal? Like, how did it go about? What was it? Tell us a little bit how you got to that first deal.
I want to
Yeah,
know
so I
all the
was,
details. Too.
back then this was, heavy direct to agent, talk to sellers, you got to get into the wholesale side. And I was pretty good, right? Like I remember my first phone call, Stephanie Cox was the agent. And, I did not get a deal done with her because she thought I was committing mortgage fraud and all this other stuff. And I was going to go to jail and all this, just what everybody says, right?
Yes.
The disbelief of, oh, you can go take over somebody's loan and not commit mortgage fraud, right? But so that was if I would have stopped there, oh my God, where would I have been, right? If I'd have let her get in
Yep.
my head. So
I
I
know.
continued going
Good point.
down. I continued going down the rabbit hole of the agents, and I was about probably, I would say, a good 2 to 3 weeks into SubTo, and I was in South Carolina. I was visiting family. I was visiting my grandma. She was in the nursing home at the time, and so I was flying back from California because had the ability to do that, and so I was visiting her, and I was in near Rachel in northern South Carolina, and I called on this lake house that was there, and the agent wouldn't take me to go see it. He was like, "Nah, I don't have enough time." I don't know why he got that idea, so I went down there myself, and started just looking around, think it's on the water, it's on the river, it might flood. So I knocked on the neighbor's door and said, "Hey, does it ever flood around here?" And they're like, "I don't know." And so they're like, well, the sellers live down here. You want to go meet them? And they took me down there to meet the sellers, and I formed talk to them just because I had the gift. And I was, so it was, Dr. Ham is his name, and his wife, and they were an older couple. Find out he was a general in the Army, a retired general in the Army. And they owned all this property around there. And so there was this lake house they had for sale on the market. And we started talking. I started to share my story and what I was doing. And come to find out, later that night, I was talking to my grandma. I was like, this is what I'm thinking. She's like, well, go over there, talk to him, knock on the door again. And so I literally wrote on a yellow sticky note my offer, and walked up, knocked on their door, and they had me in. His wife gave me some banana bread, and we talked about it, and we had a gentleman's agreement. And so wrote the story of my first deal in Fort Lawn, South Carolina, on the river, and worked out. Well, I didn't get a seller finance deal out of it. That was where we were going because they're in their older years and
Right.
they're worried about taxes and things. So we agreed to do a lease option for 5 years. But hell, I was buying a $454,000 home, and my payment's $1,200 a month for 5
So did
years.
you rent it or did you guys keep it? Like, would you all do
No, we
with it?
kept it. We used it as a family home for a while because we were visiting our grandmothers up there. My mom was visiting her mom while we were there. So it was such a low payment. Why not just use it as a vacation home? And now it's an Airbnb.
I love
and
that.
It makes a ton of money.
That is
And now we're actually in talks to buy all the land around there, including like 4 homes. So
Adam, when you're here in September, can we just go lay sticky notes on houses together?
yes.
Yeah, I'm coming.
But I am serious. I wrote my offer on a yellow sticky note. I wish I still had it.
Oh, I wish you still had it, or at least a picture, like click.
Yeah,
Well, I was going to say, you
Aw.
can put it in the Airbnb. It'd be hilarious.
Oh my God, I love that.
So yeah, and then I
story.
moved on to my second. I've moved on to my second deal that I found on Facebook. And then that was the month after that. So it just started
Okay, so
snowballing.
what did you do in your first 6 months?
So the first 6 months, I bought a second one where me and
Right.
my husband bought. We knew that we were getting stationed back in South Carolina. I just posted on. We had owned a home, the original home, in a subdivision, so we had a Facebook group. And so I posted in the Facebook group, is there anybody looking to sell their home that doesn't have enough equity to sell it? And
See?
this couple reached out to me and said, "Hey, we just took out a cash out refinance on our home, and we want to move out in the country. We can't sell it because we don't have any equity." Literally bought the home for $5,000. One of my best friends, Daniel, he was one of the first people to believe in me and loaned me $25,000. I didn't need $25,000, and all I had to pay was around $5,000 in closing costs. But got a sub-2 deal, and then we lived in that home. It was a big $3,000 square foot home, and bought it. That was my first sub-2 deal, and then after that, wholesale some property, 2 homes after that by helping 2 other. Or actually another sub-2 student. So had a busy 6 months, and it was all contributed to taking action.
Okay.
That
I
was
mean,
it.
obviously, are you still in that sub-2 deal in your second property? Like, do you guys still have that
Already
same
sold it.
mortgage? You sold
We
it.
sold it and made a profit on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so dope. So sub-2 works, everyone.
It does work.
To all
It's
your realtors out there.
It's a powerful tool. And then and it kept snowballing after that. Just one after the other started coming.
So do you mainly do purchases for yourself, or do you actually help others?
So I mean, right, we pivot a lot in the real estate space, right? Where we're at, what we're feeling at the time, what's the new, shiny object, and what is most beneficial for you at the time of when you're doing it. And so right now I'm buying properties that are in the affordable housing space because I'm passionate about creating affordable housing for people within local communities, but also creating a solid investment strategy with other investors so that they can go out and replicate this strategy of co-living. I think I see the co-living space to me is where my passion is. I've just started it last year. I'm on my 6th property right now for co-living. And it's been amazing because we've been able to house people. We're able to house veterans. We're able to house workforce housing, but it's also given such a huge return to the investor because it takes money to help people.
Right. So for the people that don't really know what co-living is, you want to just give us like a quick rundown of what co-living is?
Yeah, co-living is where a simple explanation of it is like student housing.
Okay.
Where people go in and, you've got unrelated people, random people just living together that are renting rooms in people's houses. But where they're going in, rather than the homeowner living in the house, you've got tenants in each bedroom. But the way you structure it in different cities, you change the terminology.
The other piece of it, Kate, that I want to touch on with Adam
Yeah, please.
is you convert other rooms into bedrooms, which helps,
Exactly.
Again, house more people. Do you want to elaborate a little bit more on that,
Yeah,
Adam?
so I'll give you a prime example. You got a 4-bedroom home. Typical 4-bedroom home is going to probably have let's say 1,700 square feet. Probably going to have a living room, a dining room possibly, or an office. Well, you want to maximize how many bedrooms you can put in there. And so why does a co-living home does not typically need a living room where people are just hanging out, watching TV, socializing, because a lot of people do sit in their rooms. A lot of people that are watching this probably have kids. They probably just sit in their rooms all day on their phones or playing games. So they're probably not sitting in the living room just shooting the shit. Sorry, pardon my French. But, so you want to look at converting those rooms into bedrooms so you can help more people out. And so you would take a 4-bedroom home and you could probably get out of a 4-bedroom home, get 7 bedrooms total because you're going to convert a living room into a bedroom. If you have a large enough living room, you maybe make 2 bedrooms out of it.
I hear it like a garage too.
You can convert garages over. You don't really want to take the aesthetic and the characteristics of the exterior of their home away from the neighborhood because you may have to convert it back eventually one day to sell it, unless you sell it, as a co-living home. But you convert unused space in a co-living home, so living room, dining room, office space, into those bedrooms. And you don't have to put closets. You're just putting up walls and doors, somewhere for them to have a safe and clean place to stay.
What about that? Is so fascinating. Go ahead, Rachel.
Oh, I think I know the answer to this, but because I know how much Adam loves working with other veterans, I think that's part of when you and I talked, we immediately, with you, me, and my husband, all kind of bonded with that. But
Yep.
what is your biggest win with co-living so far?
My biggest win with co-living so far, I think, is going to be this last one that we just did, where we're in Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to be able to house veterans. The wholesaler was a veteran. The private lender was a veteran. The buyers, myself and my partner Wes, are veterans, and we're working with an agent inside the city that has a lot of connections with veterans. We're going to house veterans inside that home. So the whole vertical is going to be veteran owned and veteran ran and veteran stays.
You and I need to connect after this to talk about Mission 85 because that's a coalition of nonprofits along I-85 that are working gaps in veteran services. I want to get this story to them because affordable housing is.
But I do want to share my biggest win with a veteran, though.
Oh, sure. Sorry.
So I think it was probably like the fourth or fifth home we bought. I can't remember. But we were able to buy this home. This veteran was in foreclosure, and we were able to buy his home, SubTo, put a sober living operator in this home. So we killed two birds with one stone. We helped the veteran, but we also helped the local community out by letting an operator of sober living house the veteran or house sober living individuals, people that needed sober living and that were coming out of jail and rehab and stuff like that. I actually hired a couple of those individuals to work for me at my business that I bought. And then we watched because we had access to his mortgage portal. We watched his credit improve throughout the year, and then we sold it. So now he recaptured his VA entitlement.
I love that. I freaking love that, Adam. That is so cool.
Okay, that is something. Wait, that is wow. I'm going to do a little side thing. I went to an event in Naples this past weekend, Songwriters for Vets. And it was all these really amazing songwriters that I was like bawling my eyes out. And it was at the Naples Grand. And it was all the songwriters were the ones that wrote the songs. And it's all vet, related. And it was, I'm not a personal vet. But I grew up in Key West, and Key West is obviously a very military community. We have huge communities. So my life has been surrounded by military. I'm very grateful. I love my country. I serve, and I think the Rachel and I connected in so many ways, but my respect for the military is huge. So going this weekend, it was what you did for that man. I just don't get how we don't do more of that. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. It's a team effort, right?
I get it. I know, but the fact that you're even trying, to make a difference in the world, because the vets just, like you say, you came back from deployment. Like, what are you going to do with your time and your skills? And the fact that you were able to turn it, go into this industry, and now you're giving back through real estate. Whoever thought that you could give back through real estate, being able to help this guy build his credit back and get his life started again. Come on.
Yeah. I think, investing with a heart and impact investing, I never knew that term until, there's nothing wrong with going out there and making money and helping people at the same time.
Absolutely not. Hands down. That's impact is, and Pace is very, very clear about that through the whole journey. That Pace is always, constantly giving back. And, this 100-day thing he's about to go on to help, single mothers and homeless and getting just recently.
Look at
Maddie. And I love that impact. And that's what our community all stands for. We're, if you really do get yourself involved in our community, you can't deny that. All of us are shining through and trying to help others. Why did we lose you, Rachel?
I don't know, but I'm back. Sorry about that, guys.
I know. So we got off on a tangent.
Well, I was able to hear some of it. And one of the things I want to ask you, Adam, again, I have my own bias because I'm a veteran as well. I'm married to a veteran. How do you think being a veteran makes you a different kind of investor?
Well, I was asked this the other day,
Oh,
and so I had to come up with something. So I got something for you. So, um,
good
but
job.
but it's the discipline, right? It's the discipline. But you know what it really is a lot of us veterans are very resourceful, and we're going to be able to adapt to our surrounding to make things happen. We don't take no. No's not the answer. Why is no the answer? Right? Tell me why we can't do something. If you're telling
Yeah.
me no, then explain to me and walk me through the process. Because when we're sitting there with our commanders, we can't just tell a commander no, we can't do that. We say, oh, this is how we're going to have to accomplish this. These are the hurdles we're going to have to come up. We're going to have to overcome to get there. We're going to get there, but it may not be a straight line. So we're very adaptable to our surrounding and the situation we're in. So I think that's why we're so great inside this within as an investor, because we have that grit, discipline, and the ability to be resourceful and adaptable to our surrounding.
I love that. If I can build to it too, I think one of the things that makes veterans so unique in this industry is nobody knows how to network like a veteran. We move around so much for schools,
Exactly. Yep.
for jobs, and so we have to learn how to get along with different types of people. You have to, and
You go to
and
boot
that's
camp. Look at
I
that. You go to boot camp, right?
I didn't. I was an officer. I skipped that part.
Yeah.
But Kate, you have something you want to ask? I know that was kind of a tangent.
No, I love this so much. I love watching you two talk, and it's a proud moment to be a part of this right now. No, I mean, I guess this has gone so perfectly, and this is I really didn't have much, I think for the most part, I think that we just really dug into, I guess what really at the end of the day, what motivates you to push forward and to continue? Like, I think that you've done a lot in this, you probably could stop a little bit and take a break. And what keeps you motivated every day to sit down in front of your computer to start, you're constantly sharing, you're also doing a lot of other things. Like, what makes that, why do you do that? Why have you
Well,
not just stopped and said, hey, I got $15 million in real estate. Me and my husband can go to Key West and hang out on the beach every
Hang out with Kate.
well, this is it, right? So I really taken the last half of the year off and really was retired a little bit and really started to enjoy life a little bit. I got a little bit burned out because I jumped right into this whole real estate space right after the military and didn't have any time to spend time with Adam. And so, and get to know who the new Adam was. I
Good
just,
for you.
it was a shell with the minds, someone else in the body. And it was just a bad combination. I needed to find myself again.
Good.
I think a lot of veterans go through that. I've been talking to people that, they said it hits you about year one in of get transition, that you get, you start feeling different, and you're all motivated and happy and go lucky when you first get out and you got this new, life ahead of you. And you start, then you have to realize that, there's ups and downs and stuff like that. And you don't have anybody to turn to talk to and stuff like you do when you're active duty, and friends to call, and because it is a totally different life. But what keeps, but it is a selfish one. I'm sorry, but I don't have any kids or anything. I've got, nephews and nieces and stuff like that. But, I didn't like hanging out by myself, and I didn't like sitting the retirement life yet. So that's why I jumped back in it, when my husband deployed a couple weeks ago. And,
Oh, no.
and so it was, I stay motivated because I know that I love helping people. I get so excited about talking about real estate. I don't know if you can tell, but I could talk all day about it. And so I can combine my passion. I can combine my passion of real estate and my passion of helping people and make money at the same time, because eventually one day I do want to buy that catamaran and sell the Mediterranean.
Good. I love
with
that.
my Starlink doing Zooms.
That's
That's
it. That's a good.
Adam, I have another question for you. I want to know Because I think some people in the community are definitely in a position where maybe a deal is not
She
going the
went
way they thought
blank
it would.
again.
Would you mind
Sorry, I
sharing?
have like this amazing tool. You're gonna have to say that again.
Oh,
I edit too. We lost you.
sorry. I don't know what's going on with my internet right now. It's killing
Okay,
me.
I didn't have power or internet this morning, so
Um, Everybody's gone through a period where something bad has happened, right? Name a time where things weren't going the way that they should and how you overcame it.
Yeah, great question. So this is where, like, I will tell you the good, the bad, the ugly.
yeah,
You
because
know, because a lot of people try to hide that stuff.
oh no,
But
you can't.
I think it's very important that you tell people about the hurdles you had because and how you overcame it and things. So I'll tell you right now, we bought this property in Atlanta, Georgia, and it did not go well. We bought it, using hard money, used private money on it. Didn't lose any money. The private money didn't lose any money on it. Um, they got their money back eventually after refinance, but we went through three contractors. I didn't do it right. It was my first flip that I was trying to do, and did not turn out well. We went, like I said, three contractors. We thought we bought the home, believe in the agent because of it could be a duplex, grandfathered. That's not the case. So we lost property value that way. It was, didn't sign a legitimate contractor with somebody that spoke English. I spoke through text because they didn't speak English, and I trusted people, and I've learned my lesson, right? I don't do that anymore. But that was probably one of the biggest hurdles we came over was that property that just we could not find contractors, and a lot of people are going to resonate with that one, that you could not find, that you hired the wrong people multiple times.
So,
It
what
is
did
what
you
it
learn
is.
from that? What specific things will you not do again that you were able to take into your next deal? What's a couple
I
things?
Yeah, so working with contractors, making sure they're licensed, making sure that they have a credibility package, following up with looking at references, never giving anybody any money until they perform the work. So if a contractor says that I need this amount down payment, I'm like, thank you for your time. I go to the next one because I will never give another contractor any money unless I can verify the work that has been done. Because if you can't support your business for a week, 2 weeks on your line of credit or what business you've got, I'm not going to trust you to be able to run this operation because I'm not going to give you money to go use it on someone else's project.
Right.
So
God,
that
that's
was the
genius.
biggest
So, you
lesson
also
learned.
mentioned that you relied on somebody else as far as the property goes. Now, I have been in luxury real estate in Florida Keys for 5 years. So, and before that, so I've been an entrepreneur since I was 20, but relying on a realtor, I mean, you said you did that and it was not a multifamily, like have you done? I know what you can do, but what have you done since working with an agent that said, hey, this is a multifamily? What could you have done differently that would
What
have
I
made that
what I
outcome?
what I what I could have done differently was not get so emotional and excited about a project and actually
Yeah,
look and
property
take
records would have told you that in
pull
like 10
property
minutes.
records, contact the city and say, hey, I'm being told this.
Right.
Can you verify? Because if they're saying, hey, we got to move, then it's not the right deal for me. Go out and
No,
sell it
it's
to
not. And
somebody else,
yes. And that's
you
so
know,
important, guys.
because
Do
I'm all
not let,
about
right.
if this door closes, it just meant that a better one is opening up for
Thank
me.
you. And do your due diligence because that is something that is a very easy fix. And no offense to you, I've look, I get it. This is what I do too, So, but those are something that's such an easy thing that Adam could have prevented, and it's such, obviously we're not judging that, but it is something you have to do. Do never depend on somebody else to give you that answer because at the end of the day, it was an easy fix and everyone could go on public records and call the county. And were you living in Atlanta when you did this, or was this like,
No. So I hate doing business in my backyard because I become the bottleneck because I want to go out there and change the light bulb, change the air filter, go pick out the faucets and stuff like that. And so I like to remote invest, and I still to this day swear by it because it allows you to do a lot more deals if you feel comfortable doing it not in your backyard.
So did you fly there, meet the contractors? Or was this everything done by phone?
By phone, but I was within 3-4 hours from South
Oh,
Carolina.
okay. So you weren't
I
in
drove
California.
there. I was drivable distance. You know,
Okay.
I was in South Carolina by that point. So I did go to the property and look at it and walked it and stuff, but just
Okay,
by
good.
the time we got to the permitting side where we hired the right contractor, we were already too deep into it. So
Got it.
yeah.
Guys,
So
thank you for
it is what it is. I tell people all the time, it's a matter of if, not when, you're going to lose money in real estate. You just try to land on a feather pillow just right in the middle.
Can we say that again and like slower?
I said I tell people all the time that it's a matter of when, not if you're going to lose real money in real estate. You just want to, hopefully you land on that feather pillow right in the middle.
I'm quoting you on that one. You're getting like the boomerang for that one.
Well, I want to ask again, we have a signature question, Adam, and just so you're aware and for everyone listening, any links that you want, we will put into the bottom. That way people know how to get a hold of you. Actually, before I ask the final question, what are you looking for right now? If people want to do business with you, what are you looking to do business in and how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so I'm passionate about working with private money partners because I see the value, and that's one of my missions is to help people build generational wealth through the co-living space and creating affordable housing. But I'm looking for people to come and work with me that's got some capital that they don't know what they don't know yet, and they want to come learn from real world experience. Why go out there and invest $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 into these mentorships that you don't get much from other than a Zoom call and some training? Why not come over, invest in a project, actually learn from
That's
real
awesome.
world experience, and then go out and replicate it yourself? I don't want to be your partner forever. I want to come in, let you learn something, and grow as an investor the right way, and then go out there and build your own future and your family's future.
I love that. Thank you.
That's
Adam.
awesome.
And
Yeah,
again,
That's really cool.
how do people get a hold of you? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, best way to get a hold of me is on Instagram, Adam Catledge, or where I've got my name, adamcatledge.com. I've got a form you can fill out, and I'll reach out to you that way to book a call.
That's great. So we ask this, Adam, to every guest, and what does being an REI baddie mean to you?
I mean, I think I'm a baddie. I don't know. Let's see here. So we'll see. Okay. Owning my lane with confidence, discipline, and creativity.
I love it, Adam. I love it.
All right, Adam, put your heart
for
up.
being a good sport.
Adam, no, you gotta put your thumbs.
I don't know what that is.
Thumbs.
I'm gay, but I don't know.
Thumbs.
what
Put
this
your
is,
thumbs up.
so.
Your thumbs have to touch. Thumbs.
Yeah, you can do it this way too.
Ah!
I know how to do this. I mean,
Guys, thank you so much for being patient with my internet. Again, I cannot explain to you why this is happening.
We're
and I'm
fine.
really
You're fine.
embarrassed.
And I can edit that out because we stopped talking. All right.
this has been fun.
Oh, we're fun. We're a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Well, Rachel, take over.
For the outro, it starts with you, sweetheart.
Oh, that's me. All right. Well, Adam, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. And we love how you build this, not just a cash flow like business. You really built something like a community that's helping others. And that's really something that I'm in awe. I didn't even, this interview has literally been amazing. I thank you for taking the time to do this with Rachel and I. This is exactly what we wanted to bring to the community. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
And for everyone listening, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Adam.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me.
And for everyone listening, make sure you subscribe because next week we are going to be featuring another co-living heavy hitter. We've got Dustin Gorowski coming on. Dustin is making very big moves, both inside of Owners Club and in co-living spaces. And you definitely are not going to want to miss what he's doing.
So thanks again for tuning in to REI Baddies. We'll see you next time.